Howdy everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Just wanted to go over some of the signaling and other data you can use with the Kraken data and the pairs. Right now I'm only interested in 18 pairs that trade against the fiat currency, better known as US dollar. Removes a lot of the volatility if you were to trade against a crypto. So we're going to just focus again only those crypto coins that you can trade against US dollar. So let's go through this. If you have not seen my CFD, it's very similar. I just did. You can basically, as an Excel file, the files we are looking at are just either Excel, or a Word document. So we're looking at the crypto rank. So with the crypto rank, reveals a couple things we can look at. We can look at slope for long-term performance. Momentum's another gauge. We can also look at the volume. We can also look at standard deviation. So we'll look at those four for now and see which one in the long run gives you better performance. So the first one we'll look at is slope, which is column N. So we're just going to do the descending, and I have been told there is better techniques than this. Yes, I know, but this is the way I do it because it's the way I know best, I guess. So here are your performers. The lesser known right now in this order: Atom, XTZ, which I believe can't remember, ADA, which is Cardano, Bitcoin, then Bitcoin Cash. Than Dash. Those are your better performing long-term performers in that order. Then we can also look at momentum's another one we can look at. I believe that's column J right here. So let's check that out. There's different libraries I use for both the slope and the momentum. So here we are. So here are your performance based upon momentum. Bitcoin, XMR, which is Monero, Ethereum Classic, and then Tether, and then Dash, top 5. So out of that, we can then look at the volatility using the column K of standard deviation. Obviously, in our case, you probably, if you want to play it safe, if you even want to use the term, is it safe to trade in cryptocurrencies? So we'll go after the least volume using column K, which is standard deviation right here. We'll change the order to ascending. So our least volatile will be here. So this makes sense. Tether against US dollar, because Tether is pegged against the dollar. So we expect that to be having the lowest volatility, which makes sense. Surprisingly, BTC, second least volatile, which surprises me. GNO, Ethereum, Dash, Litecoin, Zcoin, the least volatile out of that lot. Ain't that crazy? I think there was one more we can look at, if I can do a restore here. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Oh, volume. So that is column I. So let's see which ones are traded the most. Okay. So oddly enough, BTC is traded the most. Does that make sense? Or is it this end? I think it's this end. I think I screwed up here. Okay, so data for column column I. I think I screwed up there. So column I descending. See, column I right here is volume. So here we go. Okay, yeah, this looks right. So XRP is traded the most because of the price is so low. Cardano, Tether, which is surprising for me. I don't think people would want to trade that. XLM, which is Stellar, EOS, XTZ, Atom, Litecoin, and Ethereum in that order by volume. Crazy. But it's really, I think, driven by price, and that's on Kraken. All right, so let's check out some of the reports here, the Word document reports. So here we have one. Sometimes you can't really short it, but I just do it just for the fun of it. Anything close to the size of 37 kilobytes is probably, there's no data in it, really. So the only ones out of this lot is this one on the raw long. There's no filtering. So let's check out that. Okay, so these are the reports. I'll repeat what I said in the CFD. See how many there are. Okay, so we only have two here. ADA, which has been supposedly performing decently, and QTOM against all USD. So here we get the group volume mean and the volatility mean. So we can compare both the volume against the group and then the standard deviation, which is another way of saying volatility against the group. So the other thing that's key is the Fibonacci level. If you were to put entries on, you kind of optimally want to put have your entries in the golden range. So we can check that out here. So we got a variety of trade opportunities. This looks pretty good actually for cross signals with moving averages. They're not as messy as I might show you in another report. So they look somewhat dependable, dare I say. So here we have an entry signal. This seems to work. This seems to work. So go figure. That's pretty rare to say that with that chart. Now QTOM has been on a long-term downward trend slightly, but it is trading above trend, which is good. Now here's how you can know the volume or the value using Fibonacci levels. You want it between this magenta line and the green line, but you can see it's been overvalued. And then here you will get some other classic indicators like this, what I call automated head and shoulder. So here the trend has been pretty strong on this supposed neckline, and the price is way down here. The green dot is supposed to represent the expected move up to there, but that's clearly not where it's supposed to be at. This chart's like messed up. It's not even worth talking about. But if you do get confused, it's supposed to be the overlay of the Fibonacci and trend chart together. I'll eventually remove that. So here's where it gets very interesting. So this is a 180-day view. Another way of saying almost 6 months. We've got the pricing, the average. I put this as far back as I can go because you can see the historical pattern. Then we have our RSI momentum. These are pretty important just from a high level visualization. But you can see why this was selected to lead upward move. We've got this big green bar. We've got this huge wick down, this whipsaw, and you can see what happens. Up it goes. Yeah. And you can also say the same thing here. Major down and up it goes. So this can be a dependable confirmation of what you can expect in a day or two from what I've seen. But again, that's only on daily data. But this is a 90-day view. So RSI is kind of slightly overbought, still at the momentum of 0. But look at this. Momentum is still at 0. This is a 30-day view. Now, here's Cardano, ADA. Again, standard deviation compared against the group. You'll see that in the next report. Again, wow, this is quite unusual where we get positive signals here. They're looking good, so we got one here. So this may actually work. It's very hard for me to say that, but I guess the volatility's been kind of low on Cardano. But when you see that uptrend, above trend, that's looking pretty good. Again, this is daily data. Clearly overvalued. I've reports to generate much smaller 2-day, 7-day, any view I want on the Fibonacci levels, and I use that to say, is it a good time to buy? But again, this is on a historical, so it's clearly overvalued. Again, the automated head and shoulder, it's been pretty well killed off here. But one other thing is the candles. These can be very useful. So this one's screaming a bearish. So beware. That might mean it may actually turn and not give you what you expect. Those can work, but again, it's only 50% of the time. With all these things combined, this is more for confirmation. So we have the long, so we're now basing it on trend. See, this one's a fairly big file, 2.2 megs, pretty big for a Word document, or at least the ones that get generated here. So let's see what this generates. It's the same format, just filtered on slope. So here we have how many pairs. Usually I like to focus usually on the top two, nothing more beyond that. Again, standard deviation, group for this entire set here. The volume, same thing. And we can go in and start looking at these individually. Now, I reported this, oddly enough, on my Instagram, this GNO. Gnosis, I believe it's called. You can see here all these false positive signals, so don't believe the hype. But from a historical point of view, getting killed off on the trend, and it's just kind of outperforming because it's been so low. But we would have to look at the RSI and momentum to see how it looks, over the next short term to see if it actually will go up. I bet you $1 million this is related around the performance of Bitcoin. A lot of these coins do. You can see here it's been pretty well killed off historically. Now this is where it gets interesting. We have a bullish harmonic. Here it is. We have another head and shoulders. How's this looking? Been killed off. Bad performance. And again, between the harmonics and the candle patterns, these can be very useful combined with those. So here, what we're looking for is bullish candles. Is a bullish bearish. Sometimes you get bullish and bearish. So the other thing you need to pay attention to is the date it's been generated at. So today's the 13th. So this is a bullish candle from 3 days ago. So I could look back 3 days prior in the 30-day to see how it's performed. So I could do that right now, actually. That's a chart we don't really care about. Again, the 180 view, okay? So it looks like it's kind of historically starting to move up. But again, there is some buyers when it's over 50 on the RSI side. So again, it's been kind of flat. But I bet you this one may outperform. It's flat again. But the one you want to watch is this one, the 30-day view. Now remember, we had on June 10th, there was a candle generator right here. Now this is tough to say because you would have to look at the particular candle, which was called, what was it called? The bullish was called the CDL candle 3-star in South. Now I've talked about this numerous times. Let me just try this. We shall do the pattern site. Go to Google, hopefully. Let me try DuckDuckGo. So we have a site out there called the pattern site, and what you can use is this title 3 stars in South. So if you are interested in candles, you can just do this 3 stars in South using the pattern site. So this guy spent who knows how many hours or days or weeks or months or whatever to generate this site. But it'll give you an overall summary of that particular candle and the reliability of it, overall performance rank, which is not bad, but you can kind of see the similarity in this chart here on the 30-day, which was June 10th, I believe, right here. So I'm sure somewhere in here, these two may be what it's referring to, and you can individually look at how this performed and is this a reliable trading signal. But usually what you can do is, we have the momentum below. It has definitely gone into a flat trading mode, but will it move up? Personally, it really depends upon Bitcoin itself. But when you look at combined with that candle and a bullish harmonic, chances are it could move up. But again, I've got other tools that will look at that, and I did post this a few days ago on my Instagram just as an example. Okay, so we have a new one. Like I said, I only like to look at the top two. Dash is another pretty interesting one. Again, you can always compare the volume and the volatility against the group. You can see here that these, as before in the previous report, it's not as good here because these are all false positive signals. Historical trend down, price performing, okay. But it is definitely below value. Here we have another bullish, right here, bullish harmonic pattern. We have another harmonic pattern, still getting clobbered. Also here we have the same candle as before, bullish, but generated yesterday. So we'll make note of that because it's the 13th today. So I'm just showing you how you can analyze these reports just from a human perspective. So again, it's been in a range bound on the 180 view, 180 days, 90. That won't really mean a lot, but this is where it's really useful, right here. So yesterday, this is the candle that we're questioning. The slightly negative momentum at the 50 RSI, so who knows where that will go. Again, we have now one more. We'll look at Zcash here. Again, look at all these false positives. You really, it's really hard to determine those. Downtrend, above trend here. Again, very tight Fibonacci level. So this is not going to go places, but it's a bearish crap, so this may turn. And again, we have this is a useless chart here. But here's where it gets interesting. Sometimes you get all of these combined candles. So we got three bullish. So these can contradict this guy. And this is the confusing part. Which one do you go with? Well, one way to determine that is to look at, again, once they're generous. So we have three bullish candles here. Amarabuzu, 3 stars in the south, and separating lines, candles. So again, you can go to this pattern site, check it out if you want. And then these are pretty powerful, I think. So they were generated the 11th. So I'll look at those for that time. Again, useless. Again, look at this bar. We'll see that in the 30-day 180 view, 90 view. So here's that big move up. Boom. Yeah, it's definitely positive momentum. That's a good sign. Yeah, this could be something to watch for. It's above the EMA, which is good. So it's set that. So this is a very interesting coin to watch and see how long that lasts. But you can see a lot of the opportunities here among so many of these different coins. But I just thought I'd show this to you, just to show you the potential of this. So we have 85 pages here of goodness to go through. But some of these are pretty crazy. You wouldn't see otherwise. But there's a lot of data to work with here, including the spreadsheet, and among other things as well. Other than that, hopefully this will help you out. We shall talk to you later.